How's it going, everyone? It's Mike from PC Classic Cars, back with another virtual description. Today we're going to talk about my really cool 1996 Ford F-250 7.3 diesel with 138,000 actual miles. This is a truck that I bought from a customer out of Colorado, and via the Carfax, it pretty much lived its entire life in Colorado. It's 138,263 miles as of this video. Overall, it's a really clean truck. Gotta love the 7.3 4x4 truck. This one does have a clean Carfax as far as the truck goes. A lot of good mileage entries on there. It does have one reported minor on the Carfax, but it actually says vehicle was not damaged. So my guess is it was in something super, super minimal. But they just reported it at one point. There is really nothing wrong with the truck when it comes to that. So my guess is it was something extremely minor because, again, on the Carfax, it does say vehicle was not damaged. On the drivetrain, obviously, you have your 7.3 turbo diesel. Runs great. It is the numbers matching motor to the truck. You have your 4-speed automatic overdrive, and they are an E40D. That's what these trucks would have came with unless you had the manual transmission option. Standard 10.25 rear end, power steering, power front disc brakes. This is a dual tank truck. The switch works. Both tanks are functioning properly. On your suspension, you do have a nice set of Rancho shocks. Truck drives down the road awesome. Has a great road feel to it. On your exhaust, it still retains the manifolds, crossover pipe, catalytic converter, stock style muffler, and tailpipe. So it's not very loud. You really hear motor more than you do hear exhaust going down the road. If you've driven any of these 7.3s or ever been around them, obviously that motor is the most iconic sound when it comes to a diesel truck, at least if you ask me. 7.3s are going to be your pinnacle motor. Absolutely love a 7.3 diesel. This is a great truck front to back. 4x4 with the automatic locking hubs, and it drives, again, just excellent. Take a look at my test drive video. You'll see me personally driving the truck going down the road, but it drives like a really, really nice pickup. On the does it work section, like you'd expect a good mileage pickup, all of the lights, gauges, horn, wipers, radio, heat, AC, parking brake, all your power options like windows, locks, mirrors, all that stuff functions properly. I do not have a single note of anything not working on this truck, so take a look at that does it work section. It is posted on my website in multiple places, which is going to be a screenshot of all the items that work and don't work, but obviously this one's ready to go front to back. On my pre-inspection, where I check for leaks, wear items of the steering and the suspension. Overall, front to back, this one is clean. A lot of the steering and the suspension outside of those shocks do appear to be original, but everything checks out good. The battery and the alternator are doing their job, checked out nice. Fluids are all clean and nice. Tires are brand new. They're a 2025 date code. I put them on the truck. They are brand new along with the wheels. Really no disclaimers. I don't see any current fluid leaks, but 7.3s, you might get a little drip here and there at some point. But right now, it does look nice and clean on the bottom of the truck. The exterior, this was originally a code KT, which is the blue metallic paint. This is somewhat original paint. It looks like the hood and the top of the cab. They were repainted at some point. Unfortunately, the metallic is off on both of those. So walking up to the truck, it looks great. You get close. The hood and the roof itself are a little bit darker, a little bit thicker metallic in those areas. The rest of the truck does have its imperfections in the paint, a couple little clear coat spots here and there. But for being mostly original paint, it still shows very nice. The trim does have a little bit of age here and there. Again, really indicative of a 138,000-mile truck. It still shows very clean, but it is going to have its imperfections. In my additional informations tab on the website, you're going to see photos of all the imperfections that I found on the truck. Wheels are an aftermarket aluminum 16-inch American racing wheel. It mimics the stock style wheel that this truck would have came with. I think it looks really, really good. They are, again, brand new BFG all-terrain TA tires. They're 265/70/16 all the way around. They don't have 50 miles on the tires since I just put them on. Interior, very clean original interior. It's code 5V4, which is the royal blue cloth. Largely an original interior. Carpet's got a little bit of age to it, but it's got really nice floor mats. The seat itself, from where you get in and out on the seat bottom and the seat back, does have a little bit of age. A little bit of seam separation. You'll see photos of that in the additional informations tab. The dash does have a little crack in that piece of material to the right of the stereo, which is very, very common on these. You do have an aftermarket stereo. It's a JVC with cassette, CD, and auxiliary setup on it. You do have the center fold-down armrest for these trucks. So you can put 3 people in there if you want to. But for being an original interior, it does still show very nice. The engine bay is very clean. It's all stock. Has a newer battery, newer alternator. Nothing is really out of place. It's very tidy, very clean. I didn't note this before, but I noticed no blow by from the motor. The motor is very strong. Engine bay itself is very, very clean. Nothing really to note on that. The underneath is very solid, largely an original undercarriage. The only thing I'm going to note is there is no spare tire or the mounting mechanism for the spare tire in the back underneath the bed. It does have a spare just sitting in the bed itself, which the bed does have a bed liner and a gooseneck hitch on there. So if you do want to pull something, it's got a gooseneck hitch as well as a trailer hookup for underneath the bumper. So if you want to pull something, obviously it's set up to do that. But again, spare tire is just sitting in the bed in the backside. Overall, awesome 7.3 diesel Ford OBS pickup. Love these trucks. I've sold a ton of OBS 7.3s, and I've sold a bunch of the gas ones just because these 7.3s are so expensive. Cold air, drives down the road nice, 4x4 works like it should, good mileage, overall very clean truck cosmetically. So not a whole lot to really complain about for a truck with 138,000 miles. Tons and tons of life left. If you know these trucks, they're good for 300, 350,000 miles plus. I've seen them with 400,000 miles on them. So this one is a ready-to-go truck. Hop in and drive and really enjoy a 7.3 Ford. As always, I appreciate y'all stopping in to watch another one of my virtual descriptions. Check out that test drive video along with the additional informations tab. Both are posted on my website, pcclassiccars.com. I'll catch you guys on the next video, and we'll see you around.